Walking is probably one of the most important activities for me every Sunday morning. Breathe the air and I feel the sunlight and then see the sunlight shining through the leaf of the trees. And I think that's when I start feeling alive. In fact, if you look at the list of livable cities or the cities with the highest kind of quality of life ranking, the most walkable cities are very often the most livable cities, and the cities that are most desirable and cities that would attract investment. Hong Kong has always been one of the most walkable cities in the world. This is an old postcard of Hong Kong over 100 years ago. You can see the street is vibrant, the proportion of the street is protecting people from sharp daylight, and then there are a lot of interest. This is just around the corner, Johnson Road, where the Warchung pawn shop, the building is still standing. And the arcaded buildings, the wide pavement, all those actually make the street very, very walkable. If you walk around Hong Kong today, you can still find some of these areas. This is the district of Tai Hang. Tai Hang is one of the remaining urban villages in Hong Kong. Very nice pavement with flower stores on the side. But you can see at the background of this photograph, when old Tai Hang is slowly being replaced by new buildings, something is not right. You can see that building at the back. Yeah, they have several floors of blank facade, and that's just car parking. Nothing. There is absolutely no interest, no life, no connection. And when it's hot, it's really hot to walk, and when it rains, there is no shelter. In fact, if you see it at a larger scale, you can see why this is changing. Yeah, this is one of the photographs showing a whole district being redeveloped. Now, in Hong Kong, we have always had this philosophy that it should be possible to design for cars and let cars run in and out. So you design really wide road. Now that has always been the philosophy for the last 30 years. Now this is the result of that philosophy. Yeah, the car-dominated mentality. And if you look closer, that is what we're now getting everywhere. Yeah, with these so-called pedestrian walkway, which has no interest, which are hostile and are monotonous. If you look even closer, that's what we get, fortresses that are not permeable, that are not welcoming, that make use of a lot of air conditioning. If you have a bit of time on this trip, try to spend half a day in a little enclave just an hour away from here, the old Portuguese enclave of Macau. This is actually, by some measure, the densest urban environment in the whole world. And yet, old Macau is extremely walkable. The density doesn't make it unwalkable. Cars are actually running through it. This is actually the road for the car. Now, but they actually control the car. They actually tame the car. They're actually mixing people with car, but at the same time keeping car under control by the way they do the paving, by the way they give the non-specific indication to the driver to make sure that the drivers will slow down. But just 500 meters from that photograph, you see the new Macau, and this kind of superblock mentality is now the dominant ideology in new town development throughout Asia. Now this is the projection of urbanization, both in the world and in Asia. We would have an extra 1,100 million people living in cities, just in Asia, in this kind of new town development. It is an epidemic of unlivable, unwalkable city happening all over the place as the dominant development phenomenon.